Thank you very much. Welcome and good morning to everybody, all the students for the Australian International College that wisely choose hospitality and commercial cookery to become your career path. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jorge Chacon, well known at AIC as Chef George. You will see me around. Some of you might not have me as a trainer in your practical or theory classes, but you will see me around. But please feel free to talk to me, to ask me for any questions of inquiries that you might have. So I will be more than happy to help you. Okay. First of all, I'll like to mention that at the Australian International College, we provide qualifications in three main areas, well, three main codes, as I can put it. First, we do Certificate 4 in Commercial Cookery. We do Diploma of Hospitality Management, and we do a Diploma or Advanced Diploma of Hospitality Management. And these qualifications will be basically the foundations of your future development as professionals. Um, as a personal experience, I can tell you that commercial cookery and hospitality has given me so much satisfaction, success, has implied as well a lot of sacrifices that I had to do socially and family as well. But it's all worth it. I don't regret having chosen this career path. Has allowed me to grow as a person,
Ay,
uh,
pidan po.
financially, as well has helped me a lot. And I have experienced many different ways of interacting with some other people. I had my own business, and uh, I had the chance to work with different companies, work in different hotels. That's a picture of me for you. So, doing some demonstrations at hotel. I had a chance to work on the television as well, on a couple of series. So has been a very satisfying journey. So welcome to the industry, and let's go to the essential information. Well, at Australian International College, AIC, we provide with three qualifications, as I was explaining earlier. And this is the structure of the courses. So we provide Certificate 4 in Commercial Cookery on 7 terms. A term is defined by 3 months, 10 weeks. On those 7 terms, you will be completing 33 units. Out of those 33 units, 26 are core units. By core, I mean compulsory, and 7 electives. Of these 33 units, 13 units are practical. What do I mean by practical? By practical, I mean that you have to be in the kitchen. You need to see the demonstrations being done by your trainer, and you will be observed on doing those demonstrations and being assessed. So the part of this qualification, which is extremely important, is the observation that you will be subject to while you do the assessments or while you are in class. So don't need to tell you how important is attendance, because we as trainers, we need to see you performing the allocated tasks. And then we have a diploma hospitality management. This is completed in 8 terms, 28 units. Some units might differ from the commercial cookery. And we have 13 core units and 15 electives. By core, I mean compulsory units that you have to do either if you study here or in any other college. Then we have the Advanced Diploma of Hospitality Management. So we're moving up. So this is completed in 10 terms, 33 units, as well as certificate for in commercial cookery. Units differ, and we have 16 core units plus 17 electives. Now on the electives units, the elective units are chosen by the college in close consultation with industry experts, and we base our decision on units that will provide or enhance your ability to perform better and become better professionals. Now, apart from the standalone courses that we or qualifications that we provide, we have package courses. The package courses are basically combined. You can combine certificate for in commercial cookery with the diploma hospitality management, and this will take you to 9 terms. So after 9 terms, you will gain both qualifications. Or you can combine it with the advanced diploma of hospitality management as well. And this will make it to 11 terms. So this is on the package courses. Most of you, I believe, are in the package course certificate for in commercial cookery with the diploma of hospitality management. Now, one element that is extremely important for the hospitality or commercial cookery is the work placement. Another word for work placement is work-based learning. So at this stage, we have one dedicated term, two in the process of students going to work and they are being assessed at work. How does it work? This works with a logbook. A logbook is like a diary that you will record all your shifts and all the um, activities that you perform, and this needs to be signed by your supervisor. Now, to gain the qualification as a chef or as a cook, you will need 48 of these records in the logbook. You will need as well another logbook for another unit, which is called Coordinate Cooking Operations, that you will require to complete 12 services in your logbook. And for the people who chose to do hospitality, you will need to complete logbook with 36 services. By service, I mean a shift. How many hours is a shift is usually a common question. A shift will be defined between 4 and 6 hours, but you will need to make sure that you complete all the required information on these logbooks, because this is a very important document for a later stage if you need to do some sort of uh, applications to gaining some other qualifications of something to do with your migration status. No, assessment. I will not go into much detail as Joe already covered very well. In Australian International College, we have assessments in commercial cookery and hospitality. These assessments have different ways. You got the usual knowledge assessment, which will be a test, a quiz, completion of a workbook, or a checkpoint in your materials. You will have the practical assessment, which is basically the foundation for us as chefs, where you will be observed performing a task that has been already demonstrated by your trainer. And there will be a project or a presentation that for this you will be a due date. And project usually takes a lot of research. Presentation is something that you will be guided and trained to, because as most of you might know, it's not that easy to stand in front of a group of people and confidently talk about a subject, especially if something that you just did some research and you just learned. So you need to make sure that you are very well um, prepared for these presentations. And it's a fantastic practice to lead people, as we know how important communication is in our industry. And then you will need to provide as well a portfolio of evidence. As I was mentioning to you earlier on the work placement, portfolio of evidence is a logbook. It's a document where you will be recording or your daily um, occurrences, skills that you perform, and the duties that you perform at work. Now, we measure and we control, we monitor your student progress. It's very important for us that you guys are successful in your qualification. The student progress gets monitored two ways. Academically, which is the academic progress. Basically, we see your performance according to the assessments that you are subject to and by your attendance. Attendance, I cannot please stop mentioning this, is extremely important for commercial cookery, for hospitality, and in general. Joe as well mentioned very clearly about this, so I'm not going to explain a little bit more. But keep in mind that observation is one of the ways for you to um, be assessed. So you need to demonstrate that you can perform a task. And if you are not in the kitchen performing, you will not be successful at doing this. Our delivery mode. So as you all know, you need to study for 20 hours per week. Now, delivery methods that we have the usual face-to-face learning, which is when you attend the lessons on campus. We are all aware of the restrictions and we already touched this subject. So we need to make adjustments accordingly. At the moment, we have remote delivery for theory units. This is done through video meetings where, like we're doing it now, you will meet your trainer on an allocated timetable, and trainer will be explaining and delivering the unit, and it will be mostly interactive, so you get a chance to participate and complete all the activities that you can manage to do on these platforms. And then you got the help of the online self-paced learning system, which is called the Moodle. All of you are aware of this. Most of you have used a way of this system of learning where you log in into this website, and there is a program that will contain all the units, all the theory elements, usually a presentation, the forms of assessments. The assessments are there, and there is a lot of information that you will require to complete all the assessments. And there is good guidelines for the practical tasks as well. The student support, just complementing on what Joe mentioned earlier. We have a student services section which deals with this. This is your first point of contact on any issue that you might require, being administratively mostly. Your trainers will be always at you, next to you, to listen to any inquiries, to help you, to provide you with advice. The communication channels are extremely important. We must trust our trainers on being able to provide with some assistance, provide with some advice, or guide you or lead you to department that can do this probably on a more professional level if required. But communication is important, please. If we are not aware of what's going on, it's very hard for us to find a way to help you. Now, on equipment and uniform and the importance of this, all of you will be provided with your utensils for the kitchen. We call it a knife roll, which contains all your knives and all the equipment that you will require for your practical lessons. Now, when I mention this, there are some safety issues, not only safety issues that you must implement in the kitchen, but when you leave the premises as well. Now, according to Australian regulations, when you leave this kitchen, practical kitchen, and you carry the knives on the street, the knife roll has to be secure with a small padlock. You will see a padlock in your as part of your equipment inside the knife roll that must be used. As an anecdote and painful for the student that happened, I will share this history. Long time ago, a student that was traveling home. This didn't happen here, it happened somewhere else, just to be clear. A student was traveling home from his first day at college, very excited with all the knives, and he goes on the train and he happens to feel the need to open the knife roll and opens the knife roll and starts looking at individually at every knife. So he's got about 6 or 7 knives in there, different sizes for different shapes for different tasks. But in the train, there was a couple of police officers. So the police officers were looking at this person and they approach very carefully and gently. And they asked him, "What are you doing?" He's saying, "Listen, today is my first day. I'm very excited. I've never seen so many knives, brand new, so sharp." And the police officers informed that according to Australian regulations, knives are classified as weapons and you are not allowed to carry a weapon openly. So the person was fined about $200 for every knife he had on his lap. So that's about 7 knives, $200. You do the maths, that's a fine. So be aware that police can stop you if you carry the knives, if the knives are not secure. Please just keep that in mind. Now, with the uniform has a purpose, especially in the kitchen. The purpose of a uniform, you can separate in 2 areas. Number one, it makes you look professional. Number two, it will provide you with safety, with the material, with the way it has been designed. When we do our first practical lesson, you will be explain all this into more detail and the chef will do a demonstration of this. So uniform, why is uniform very important as well? Because according to our regulations, students entering the kitchen must be fully uniform, wearing a complete uniform. If you don't wear a complete uniform, and by bad luck, bad chance, bad choices, accident happens, and you have to go to a hospital for example, a broken arm because somebody drops some oil on the floor and you're not wearing properly safety shoes. You slip, you fall, break your arm. You go to a hospital or you go to and then you're being assessed, you're being provided with medical assistance. The main thing for you will be, okay, I won't be able to work, I won't be able to go to study, but luckily I'm covered by student insurance. So the bad news is that The insurers will make sure that you were using a complete uniform. If there's something that they find that is not regular, they will not cover you, and they will go back at the college and they will make some inquiries. Why was a student allowed into the kitchen without proper uniform? So if you are going to judge your trainer or chef for being too strict in not allowing you enter in the kitchen because you're not wearing a complete uniform, keep that in mind. It's all have to do with safety, has to do with insurance, making sure you are covered, making sure you are provided with safety. Okay, that's very important. The first day you go into the kitchen, you will be giving an induction. An induction basically will be speech. We like to do it interactive, that we talk to each other and we explain. What I like to mention again and again is Australian standards. All of you come from different backgrounds and we are used to different standards, different ways of doing things. So we must align with Australian standards. So we got two major bodies here, or major areas. WH&S, this refers to workplace health and safety. Basically, we must make sure that we work in a safe environment. The health issue has been mentioned, and then we are more aware now with this current situation with the coronavirus. The other area will be hygiene and food safety. Hygiene, this will basically relate, number one, with your personal hygiene, how clean you are to coming to the college, how clean you maintain your uniform, and food safety. Food safety, you will be instructed on the first unit that we will complete, which is called Use Hygiene Practices for Food Safety. This unit is a prerequisite, meaning what? Meaning that we must complete this unit before we enter the kitchen. So this unit mentions a lot about personal hygiene, food safety, how to work uh, with regulations, contamination, cleaning agents, sanitizers, and so on. You will be completing this unit before we enter the kitchen for any practical lessons. Now, we're almost there, guys. Thank you very much for hanging in there. So on the checklist, what we need to do before we start, that's in on the 27th, the week of the 27th. We must make sure we know our class number. We must make sure we have received a timetable. I believe timetable will be sent Monday or Tuesday next week. You must make sure you have a student ID. You must make sure you have a uniform. The process for the uniform, you've been already informed on an email. You need to approach this chef's shop in Mary Street, and they will provide you try on a uniform, and they will give you that uniform. Make sure the jacket is not too tight, the pants are not too tight. Remember, this is not a fashion rehearsal. We need to be comfortable in the kitchen. You must come to the office here in College Street to pick up your knife roll and your equipment. Ideally, this can be done either today or anytime during next week, during office hours, ideally. This is important that you do this before the start of the lessons. And then you need to make sure you got your Moodle login details, before we start, so we're ready for the delivery. Thank you very much, guys, for your attention, and hopefully you'll have a fantastic experience with us. Looking forward to meet most of you. Again, you will see me around. Anything that I can help you with, you're more than welcome to approach me, and we can have a discussion. Thank you very much, and thank you for your attendance on this orientation.